good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whatever time zone you may be in. This is Off the Grid Podcast with Aiden and Jared.
Getting off on that's the truth.
And we are back live in studio.
Yes.
And we're in
back
person.
again.
Back in person. Finally recording stuff again together.
Yes.
I mean, I know we kind of recorded, obviously remotely on Zoom, but
Yes.
you know, it was a little bit of a different feeling to that.
Yeah.
And didn't really enjoy it all that much, to be honest, being remote. But we made do.
There was
with
an
what we had.
advantage though because we had the Zoom made it easier to put up stuff and the screen sharing.
Yeah, it was easier to bring it up. The quality was okay. I mean, you know, quality wise, you can only get so much out of Zoom.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It sounded like crap. It sounded good on your end, but on my end, it was like it was using my MacBook audio, so I mean, it was kind of not really.
Yeah,
effective.
it was okay. I mean, even with my microphone, like the Zoom, it only worked so well.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate.
But we're back in studio with the Snowball mic and his Yeti mic. We're good.
And I got my boom arm here, so that's why I kind of look suspended here. But
and if you guys saw our Facebook and Twitter pages, you know that we have a new studio. Well, not a new studio, but we added a lot to it. So
it's a new setup.
Yes.
So definitely do follow our social media accounts because we're gonna try to stay connected with you guys a little bit more. Try to interact with our audience. I know that it's been kind of hard to do that with everything going on
with
and COVID and yeah, it's been kind of weird to be honest with you.
But Jared's family's better. My family's better. So
yeah, we're all better. We're good.
we're
clean for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get back into it. So today
guys,
we're on episode 46, by the way.
And by my hat, if I'm looking at what we're going to talk about.
Yep.
The Capitol, right?
Yeah,
that's
the
happened
Capitol
just 2
riots.
days ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, what do you think about this?
I could not believe what I was seeing or hearing at first because I didn't see it at first. Okay, because I was at work at the time, so I didn't. I wasn't like watching it live or anything, so I wasn't real informed on the matter until I got out of work and started watching some videos, and it was like kind of scaring me. Like honestly, what was going on? You know?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts? Because you were home, right?
Same. I was watching it as it was happening, and I'm just like, I was like, oh, Capitol attack. It's probably BLM again. But it's like, I was supposed to like, no, is this Trump people that are doing this? And that kind of is what caught me off guard. It was Trump people that were doing it.
Yeah.
Trump supporters. You know? Normally we don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. You know, you don't expect that Trump supporters will act in that sort of way.
Conservatives, yep.
Yeah, conservatives in general are not. They don't act on aggression normally. Yeah. They tend to keep their views more
diplomatic.
Concealed, almost very more diplomatic means.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just kind of shows that the way that just people are, just the way the media reacts to it too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but yeah.
Well, we're talking more about this later, but yes, we do have an article. But before we read that, I was gonna say, Jared, do you count this as? What do you count this as? Because this has been named a bunch of things. This has been called. What they have done has been called treason. It's been called insurrection. It's been called terrorism. Do you agree with all these statements? And if so, why? Or no, if not, why not? You.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of going against the going against our democracy. I mean, obviously, our country is not a full-on democracy, not 100%.
Representative republic.
Yeah, representative republic is the actual definition of what our country is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, democracy in its sense was kind of attacked, you know. It was just a natural thing was to, you know, bring in the electors. They do their vote, you know, and try to figure out who is going to be the next president.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you going out and voting, yes, that matters, but that doesn't necessarily decide doesn't actually decide who is in office directly.
Yep.
You know, because that's up to the electors, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so there's a little bit of a timeline here from USA Today. So it's how a Trump mob stormed the U.S. Capitol, forcing Washington into lockdown.
The whole city. We're not just talking about, like, the capital. We're talking about the whole city.
Right. Did you want to go over this one?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, this is from USA Today, guys. So a woman was shot and killed, and 4 others died as a pro-Trump mob battled police broke into the U.S. Capitol and swept through the halls of Congress. And keep in mind, guys, this is all during the process, during the electoral college process, which is, well, they'll probably mention that, but so this says, as a shocked nation watched on Twitter and TV, a pro-Trump mob battled police, broke into the U.S. Capitol, and sent members of Congress fleeing, as lawmakers are counting electoral college votes to confirm the presidential victory of Democrat Joe Biden. Now 5 people are dead, including a U.S. Capitol police officer. Many of the rioters came directly from President Donald Trump's Save America rally that began hours earlier on the Ellipse, a park near the White House. Trump spoke to them for more than an hour, insisting that the election had been stolen. Let's go into that for a second. I feel like...
Do you feel like the election was stolen in your...
That wasn't my...
mind? What
yes,
were
but that wasn't my point. My point was... Guys, first of all, I'm on the same side as you. Trump supporter like everyone else. But I will say, Trump kind of started a flame in those people. He kind of egged it on a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. He egged it on. He said march to the Capitol. I mean, come on. I mean, that's...
Right, yeah.
He didn't say break in, but he said march to the Capitol.
Right, and that's my criticism with him. And, you know, I'm a Trump supporter just as much as Aiden is.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, as of recently, I've kind of disagreed with his tactics.
Absolutely.
You know, I said that I don't agree exactly with everything Trump says.
We don't worship him.
We're not worshipers like some of these people that are going in and rioting. I feel like maybe they're more so worshipers because they can't think for them. They're extremists and they tend to not think things over real well before they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they got to think for themselves instead of, like, letting, you know, Trump say, okay, you know, go to the Capitol, you know, march to the Capitol and stuff. But they take it to a whole new extreme.
Yeah. I mean,
man. Yeah, it's, yeah.
Yeah, that's all we got to say about that.
I don't even know.
Yeah. So, do you want to continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So continuing here. Our country has had enough, Trump said. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. To use a favorite term that all of you people really came up with, we will stop the steal. When he was finished, supporters headed for the Capitol building. Here was how the events unfolded. So, at 6 a.m., crowds of Trump supporters estimated in the thousands prepare for a pro-Trump rally near the Ellipse. Many began gathering the night before. Trump tweeted about the rally on December 19th. Big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there or be wild. Okay.
So that's 6 a.m.
Be wild, though. That last part, though. Okay.
Well,
don't know how to take that.
You can take that in one of two ways. One, he's saying
just be loud.
Just be loud, or be wild as in, you know, storm the Capitol like they did.
Yeah.
You know, but do you really think Trump is saying that?
But the media's going to take it
and twist it.
And make it to say storm the Capitol.
Because they've been doing that ever since he's been in office, is twisting
his
words.
The left is going to use this to push Biden's agendas, push Harris's agendas, all of that.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to... I'm betting you, Harris's next election video, you know, all the little videos that they make for the commercials, they're going to use this footage. I'm almost guaranteeing you.
Yep.
They're going to use this.
They're going to use the Capitol footage and be like,
remember this night?
In Trump's America, you remember what happened. This
bull crap
attack on your country, on democracy itself.
About democracy being attacked and all that. So it's like...
Yeah, it's all like, just, you know, we're going to attack, democracy is going to be attacked itself, and, yeah.
Yeah. So, 11 a.m., continuing here, guys, sorry.
Yeah.
Trump's Save America rally begins first with the president's sons, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., then his lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, which was the former mayor of New York City, in case you didn't know. Which, that's funny, because now the mayor's a Democrat, but okay.
I wish Giuliani was
Still, he wasn't
still there.
He was a male when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
So if you remember, well, I mean, we would have only been 3 years old, but I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't remember that. Yeah.
Besides the point, Trump starts speaking shortly before noon at about 11:50 a.m. and says, "And after this, we're going to walk down now, and I'll be there with you." Which that was kind of a lie, but okay. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we are going to cheer on.
Can you imagine Trump down in the middle of the crowd? Going like, and he's just like, he has a suit on, just
pump up the jam, pump it up.
He's like has like a boombox on his shoulder.
Yes.
I don't think the Secret Service would be real happy about Trump being out there like in the middle of it.
Yeah. Oh no.
They probably advised against it. They're like,
Trump, don't show your bulging muscles, okay?
We all know that you're Mr. Muscle Man over here, but
one. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that is kind of a slight little lie there. Like he's gonna be in there like with them like
maybe
in spirit,
but
yeah,
yes,
but
yes.
not physically because you can't have the president out there just.
Oh man,
that's just not a good
that's
idea.
Not why.
And plus, you're gonna have someone like end up shooting him or something because
by his own supporters.
No,
you imagine
not his own supporters.
No, can you imagine his own supporters shoot him?
No, not his own supporters. What I'm saying is like
the Democrats.
Yeah,
the Democrats shoot
some Antifa
bullshit
wacko,
That's not guys, I have to.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. Which that's interesting that he said that, considering what happened afterwards.
Yeah, that wasn't a lot of cheering going on there.
No, but that's something the media doesn't tell you either. No.
Mm-hmm.
Trump speaks for more than an hour. At the conclusion, thousands walk to the Capitol. And there's a little bit of a map on this.
Kind of shows like where the crowd's gathered.
Jared might put that in there if you can find a...
It'll be right on the screen for you.
If I can find it. So 1 p.m., right? Lawmakers gather for a joint session in the House of Representatives chamber to count Electoral College votes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jared, explain how this process goes to anyone who doesn't know. How does this Electoral College process go for anyone that does not know?
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I do know that in a general sense. So, like, for the people who don't understand the Electoral College...
Give them the basic gist.
I mean, it seems like a lot of people, especially, like, younger people like myself in college, tend to be a little bit more naive, They're just kind of like, just kind of free-flowing. We love Biden, hate Trump because we hear, what's being said in the media. And everything that's said about Trump in the media is pretty much bad, except unless you watch or listen to some of the conservative,
like
stations and stuff like Fox and Daily Wire and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they don't understand the Electoral College, and they see the Electoral College as unnecessary or...
They should say the popular vote should be the only...
Yeah, they almost see it as being in the way of the Democrats becoming in power, because they feel like if say if the Electoral College wasn't there in 2016, Hillary Clinton would be our president.
Would have won, yeah.
Because she won the popular vote, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but guess what? The Electoral College chose Trump.
It's to be equalized. It's to equalize.
Yeah, it's to Well, it's also to prevent like fraud and other things like that, which is kind of ironic that we're
because
that's
Trump
kinda,
has been accusing them of
fraud and all that, but
behavior.
It's we'll get more into the fraud later on in the podcast, but yeah, that's the general sense of it, is that the Electoral College acts as a buffer between the people and the government, right? Yeah, and the president, government, that really does help, because you don't want there to be a lot of fraud, and we want everything to be as smooth as possible.
Absolutely. And I should mention that, listen, guys, to anyone who's getting ramped up on either side, the Electoral College is not to persuade people. The votes have already been cast. All the Electoral College is, all they're doing is they're counting the votes. That's it. There's no opinions being... Well, there might be opinions being said, but that doesn't be taken into account because it's just they're being counted.
Right, but there's also...
And at least that's how I understand it, right? Is that correct? In my assumption?
Yes, however, they
Am I
can't.
wrong?
Well, here's the thing, though. They can vote the other way.
Okay.
So they.
So how would that happen then?
Well, if they feel like they're that's how the electoral college is like still around today, they can if say the elector chosen by their state, their home state, you know, and they're like, well, the people chose Joe Biden,
Yeah.
but you know that he wasn't so sure about that, and he's like maybe we should go with Trump because it was a really close election. He could have went the other way. He or
Okay.
she could have went the other way and said, okay, well, I think for the people the best option
It's Trump.
is to go Trump or to go Biden, depending whatever he feels, he or she
Okay.
feels. You know, so that's like, it can go either way, depending, you know, it's not 100% certain that the elector is going to choose what the people chose.
Okay.
But most of the time, they send them out there to choose what the people picked.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to reestablish that.
Yeah, to reestablish that. But yeah, he or she could go towards another option.
Did you watch it on C-SPAN?
No, I didn't.
I
watch
caught a
it.
little bit of it.
No, like I said,
A little bit of it online. It was interesting.
yeah,
I bought like 10 minutes of it and I was like, oh, it's boring.
like I said, yeah, it's kind of a boring process to watch. But I was at work, so then again, I did not get to see any of the violence break out initially, and everything.
It was insane.
Yeah, everything was, you know, watched after.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
So, moving on with this article.
Mhm.
It's at 1:10 p.m. Rioters begin grappling with police on the Capitol steps. And there's another little map there, so you guys can
Yeah.
see.
So shows the Senate chambers and like little clusters of people.
Yeah. So at 1:26 p.m., Capitol Police order evacuation of Library of Congress, Madison Building, and Cannon House Office Building on Independence Avenue across from the Capitol. Okay, you're gonna move people out. So 1:33 p.m., C-SPAN, fun enough I just mentioned them, C-SPAN reports rioters have crossed Statuary Hall, the chamber that separates the House and Senate, heading for the House and Senate. 1:40 p.m., D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser orders citywide curfew starting at 6 p.m. Orders citywide. Jared.
I know my watch was like in sync
Hey,
there with the.
speaking of guys, got the new Apple Watch.
Yep.
Series 6, pretty cool.
All right, keep going.
Anyway, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser orders citywide curfew starting at 6 p.m. Wednesday and ending at 6 a.m. Thursday. CNN reports district police are asking for more law enforcement. And we'll talk about that later, too. We'll mention that. 1:46 p.m. Republican, sorry. Republican Elaine Loya Diva, so, I don't know.
Democrat Virginia. Diva.
Oh!
Diva.
Oh God!
That's a funny moment there.
Diva.
Diva.
I thought that was some crazy last name. I'm sorry.
Elaine Lurie
Virginia.
is such a diva. Literally. Diva.
Wait, so that was representative then, not Republican, right?
Yeah, that's representative.
So it was like the first time!
You read that completely wrong.
Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to step out for a second. Diva.
You need to check yourself.
Yeah, oh gosh. Tweets she is being evacuated after reports of a pipe bomb outside. Supporters of the president are trying to force their way into the Capitol, and I can hear what sounds like multiple gunshots. Good Lord. Do you want to finish this article, Joe? Because
Aiden can't. Alright, so at 2:11 p.m., rioters breach police lines on the west side of the Capitol. So as you see on the picture here, it shows an arrow pointing to where the protesters breached the perimeter, which we saw a video of them actually climbing the wall.
There was a video
right?
there too. I don't know if you'll be able to play it later, but
yeah, I'll have it on there. But yeah, there's
it's playing right now.
Oh yeah, never mind. It's right there for you guys. But yeah,
well,
but there's like a wall there too that they're climbing on the side. Like it doesn't show it in that video there, but yeah, but if in a close up over by that brush, I think over by the trees.
Yeah,
I think is where the wall's at, where they were starting to climb it. So moments later, as I was mentioning, they start scaling the walls. So that's which is dangerous within itself. But So at 2:22 p.m., reports say Vice President Mike Pence has been escorted out of the Senate chamber.
Which we'll get into him in a second because they've said some nasty things about him. They've saying some things during the insurrection that.
Yeah, there's some interesting things to be said about Mike Pence, but we'll get to that here in a sec.
Yeah.
So then at 2:24 p.m., Trump tweets, Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth. End quote. So there's a problem there with that tweet. That shows that President Trump was what? He turned against Mike Pence.
Yeah, threw him under the bus.
Yeah, and Mike Pence is probably like, what?
What the heck? I've stood with you for 4 years, and you do this?
Yeah, why are you turning against me now?
Yeah.
Like, what did I do? I'm literally following the Constitution. I'm certifying the Electoral College votes, overseeing it all.
What did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong? He's literally he explained that, you know, the goal wasn't to. There was something along the lines he said that he was trying to explain that he wasn't going to overturn the election. He's trying to fix the or not fix anything, but just follow the Constitution.
Yeah.
You know, as the law's written, which is the right thing to do.
Yep.
Because think about it. If in a tweet Trump said something that Mike Pence could overturn the election in his favor, in Trump's favor. But Pence can't do that. And think about it. Like, if Pence was able to do that and the vice president could,
yeah,
that would mean that there would be a lot of overturned elections.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would just be like, oh, I should have won. Okay.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, it would just be like constant, like, you would never be able to get a election done. You know, at that point, it would just be over. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really stupid comment by Trump there, but, you know, and that's where I start to kind of, like, I start to distance myself from Trump and, like, okay, yeah, I'm not, I don't agree.
I ain't on that train.
I'm not on that part of the Trump train. I'll stay on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there's like, it shows like a little picture there on the screen. There's a Speaker of the House sign that was stolen.
Of the Nancy Pelosi sign.
That's kind of funny, to be honest.
That's actually kind of funny.
I'm not going to lie. That's quite good.
Might have stole from the U.S. Capitol. That's kind of funny.
All right, so at 2:38 p.m., Trump tweets, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. So
who's going to be looking at the phones in the breaking windows, though? I mean, no one's looking at their phones. I mean, so...
Right, yeah. And then there's a picture here that shows the House chamber, and it's where the lawmakers and reporters were sheltering. So it's like there's, if you look at the picture, there's two wings, and then there's the middle.
Yep.
Like where that you can enter three sides. Yeah, you can enter
3 sides.
Yeah, so 3 sides there. So they're sheltering on the left side if you're looking at from the.
And then the actual
graphic
picture shows like.
Shows police? The police officer.
Is it police or is it secret?
No, those are Secret Service.
Yeah,
agents,
those can't be police. Those are specialized agents right there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were with the vice president, right?
Yeah,
that's why they're there.
But this caption calls on police or whatever. It says police with guns drawn watch the protesters try to break into the House chamber, which they succeeded.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's only so much that Secret Service agents can do on their own. You know, they need backup.
These people probably have 4x4 planks and...
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go up against all that.
Yeah.
So at 2:39, rioters are photographed breaking the Capitol windows. Which...
Tossing bricks and stuff.
Oof. And then at 2:44 p.m., the shots are reported fired in the House chamber.
In the chamber. There were guns being fired.
Wait, so they were being protected inside the House of Representative chamber?
From what this seems like, yes.
Wait, so if you look...
They broke into both, too, don't forget, so...
So the authorities did barricade the entrance.
Yeah.
And that was what was shown in the picture.
They didn't do anything because they...
Yeah.
Yeah, the House... The map there was like House of Representatives chamber, the Great Rotunda, and then the Senate chamber. They're both on opposite sides of the Capitol, so...
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Jared, we went to the Capitol. We went on a field trip.
I know it's been a long time ago though. That was like
No, not
middle
me.
school.
I've only went like a couple years ago with my family.
Okay, well that was different though.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I haven't been there since middle school, so mind you. But 247 Huffington Post reporter tweets images of rioters at Dice.
Yeah,
they're in the chamber,
which means they made it in. So
that's a scary comment there.
Yeah,
ooh.
They're in the chamber. Jeez. Jeez.
Oh, that's scary.
Oh, just hold on. 253.
Shut up! Republican Alex Mooney, R.W. Va.
Stop! Would you stop?
Okay.
Representative of West Virginia. Hey! You got it one.
No,
that's Republican. He said Republican.
I know. I was trying to make fun of you. I did on purpose.
I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize that being made fun of.
Okay, so Representative Alex Mooney at 2:53 p.m. tweets that he has been safely moved from the House chamber. He says he and others were given an escape hood, a respiratory hood, and a mask for protection in fires or chemical accidents.
On this case, chemical attacks, which were actually done. If you didn't know.
Right, yeah.
Of why those are carrying chemical agents.
That's actually kind of cool that they had that there, though, for like protection.
Do you want to explain what the picture says, though?
So in the picture, so what is it? An escape hood, emergency escape hoods can provide up to 30 minutes of protection from carbon monoxide, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear contaminants.
Yeah.
Wow. Clear hood allows for a 360-degree panoramic field of view. The blower is activated automatically when the unit is removed from its container.
Yep.
Neck dam automatically adjusts to the wearer, creating a tight, comfortable seal.
Yeah.
That's pretty high tech.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, they're trying to protect government officials, you know, and it's quite important to keep them safe, obviously.
And the writers, or the terrorists, what I'll call them, because that's what they are, they did carry chemical agents, as I said.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, so that was good that they had that. Yeah.
Yep.
So at 2:55 p.m., Representative Tim Burchett of Tennessee texts
this is
shots
bullshit.
fired. Huh?
Nothing. I'm thinking a joke.
Bullshit.
This is bull. This is
Representative Tim Bullshit. Republican of Tennessee.
The whole of politics in a nutshell.
Yeah. Shots fired. Wow. So at 3:03 p.m., rioters are photographed on the Senate floor.
There's that picture, guys, for you.
And the funny thing is,
that's a scary image, actually, though.
The funny thing is he's wearing a mask, like,
yeah,
But then again, it's a good. Think about it though. Like, if you're, doing something illegal, you're trying to break into the Capitol. I mean, if we're wearing a mask, that hides your identity pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, people can help identify you, if they know you, and they'll be like, oh, yep, we know who that was. Aiden Griffith.
Leading the charge.
Leading the charge.
Oh, my God. But seriously, though, that's a scary image, though.
That is a scary picture there.
Like, seriously, the dude is, like, he's sitting in, you know where that is. That's the main desk. Like, that's where the control of, like, that's the person that ultimately decides everything.
Yep.
That's where he's sitting.
That's where Pelosi sits.
Yeah. He's sort of spray painted her chair.
Or no, Pelosi don't sit there. That's the Senate floor. But, yeah,
that's scary that they made it in there, though.
Yeah. All right, so at 3:13 p.m., Trump tweets, I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. But really, did that do a lot? No.
Nope. Like I said, they're not checking their phones.
Yep.
Anyway, so.
And then here's the speaker's suite, which is actually, obviously Pelosi. But there's a guy here. It's a very famous photo now. It's gone viral over the internet.
Richard Barnett, this guy.
Yeah, Richard Barnett. He's a supporter of Donald Trump, obviously, and he sits inside the office of Assistant to U.S. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, inside the U.S. Capitol.
Yep. So he He's the one that's wrote a note on her desk too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess something like Lauren said, like we won't be stopped, something like that.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of scary, but
Right. So at 3:34 p.m., CBS reports a woman is in critical condition after being shot in the neck inside the Capitol. Police later report the woman died. She was identified as Ashley Babbitt, 35, an Air Force veteran. Her husband was quoted as saying she was a strong supporter of Trump. In an account to WUSA 9, a supported witness explains what happened, saying they had stormed the building and she was climbing through the window. He says armed police and Secret Service repeatedly warned to get back, but she didn't heed the call, and then they shot her. So that's a different angle, a different view on that.
The one I heard, at least.
Yeah, so the one view I heard of Ashley, I didn't know her name before, but
this one I told you, right? I tell you this?
Well, I heard about it first before you told me, so I did hear about it before. But it was shortly after I got home from work. I was eating dinner, and I was watching the news. I was watching Fox News at the time, and I was watching Ingram Angle.
Yeah.
And she was interviewing a guy that was actually there.
Yeah.
At the riots.
Yeah.
And he said that he was the one that was trying to stop the bleeding of Ashley.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
But the whole entire thing was painting Ashley as she was just standing there not doing anything. You know, not being involved in damaging the Capitol. You know, so that was a very
looting, ransacking.
Yeah, that's a completely different angle than what USA Today is painting Ashley as.
What I heard, a friend from Luke told me that she was actually trying to. The reason she reached out, she was trying to pull someone back from letting someone get in the window. And that's when they shot her because they thought she was reaching in to go into the try to hurt them. So that's what I heard.
Yeah, and it shows in the picture here that Ashley Babbitt was shot attempting to gain access to the speaker's lobby through this broken window. It actually does say speaker's lobby up there, which is interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so at 3:51 p.m., the District of Columbia National Guard, about 1,100 troops is mobilized to support local law enforcement. And then at 4:05 p.m., a congressional correspondent tweets that congressional leaders are being evacuated from the Capitol. And then
wow, okay.
And here's what
makes me mad about it. For a second.
Yeah.
It takes you that long to evacuate them? It's been going on for what, about like 2 hours now, and then you evacuate them? Shouldn't that have been done right away?
Right, yeah. That is kind of weird. Kind of took a long time to do that.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I don't know. It's kind of weird because, you know, you're not there, so you don't know.
And I know it's different sections of the building. They probably have a system that they use.
Yeah, and you got to remember, we're looking at it on paper here because everything was moving so fast.
Oh yeah.
You know, while this was happening.
They were breaking in as they were evacuating.
Yeah,
they were probably all around them even as they were walking out.
Yeah, you know, like this. This wasn't like slow-mo happening here. This was like everything was happening so fast that they had to make adjustments on the fly.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then in this picture here, it shows that like one representative wearing the escape hood.
Yeah.
And then at 4:17 p.m., in a tweeted video lasting just over a minute, Trump says in part, "I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us." Huh?
I saw this live, by the way, when it happened, so.
Yeah. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election. Everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order, so go home. We love you. You're very special. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace. And
he should have just stuck to go home. He should have just stuck to
And then instead of saying that we love you, you're very special.
The first part, too, was what really gets me. He's still suggesting that it was stolen. That's
Right.
fueling the fire.
Yeah,
Even
he's not giving up the fact that of what he believes that it was a stolen election.
Yeah.
He's like continuously spreading that information around.
Beating a dead horse.
He's beating a dead horse at this point because it's like, okay, the election's been over for a while now. Mind you, it took a while to certify everything because of, COVID, and this year's just been wacky as it is, but it's just it's like, okay, can you please stop?
Yeah.
At this point, it's time to
even as a Trump
move on.
supporter, I'm like, please.
I'm getting kind of tired of this. That's why it's like, at this point, I'm trying to separate myself from what Trump's saying right now because I can't 100% support him just beating a dead horse, when we already know that we already tried the lawsuits and to try to overturn it. There wasn't enough evidence there to support that there was mass voter fraud. However, I do believe, and I'm sure Aiden believes, that there's been some sort of fraud.
Yeah, but it's not enough to want...
Because here's a question, dude.
Yeah, please ask me, yeah.
Explain to me this.
Okay.
How can President-elect Joe Biden, how can he get 89 million votes with the very little he has done leading up to this?
He didn't do any rallies. He didn't do... Well, he did rallies, but not as many. He didn't...
Yeah, and barely anyone showed up.
Right, exactly. And if they did one of the calls, I don't know. Yeah, that's...
Like, how does he get 89 million
doesn't
votes
make sense. Doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't add up. That's a logical look at it.
Yeah.
Some people are like, well, the left, the Democrats take COVID more seriously. That's why they didn't show up to Biden's rallies. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. Right.
They were in the freaking cars honking horns and crap. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, and that wasn't even nearly as many people that showed up to the Trump rallies.
Oh, we showed up in force, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
why. I mean, if you go back and
watch it,
but also go back and listen to our other podcast where we talked about
like the election,
leading up to the election, and we've said for a year that President Trump looks like it's going to be a landslide victory for him. There's no way Joe Biden can win.
And then he gets 85 million votes somehow.
89.
89. I'm sorry, yeah, 89 somehow.
But I was saying that for the longest time. I was thinking that.
Thank you for the correction, by the way.
Yeah, of course. I was thinking that there's no way that Biden would win. No way. And then now I look at it.
89 million votes later, like, okay, what happened there?
Yeah, how did Biden win the election? Because at one point I was thinking there's no way he could win it. And then come November, look who's in the lead. And then before you know it, a couple weeks later, Yep.
How?
I don't see how he made it this far, to be honest.
But it happened.
Yeah.
And our point we're trying to make is that he shouldn't be beating a dead horse at this point. What happened has happened. Trump, you can run again in 4 years. Or 8, depending on how long these terms last. But
yeah, which
you can run again if you're not, if you're still of health. But
yeah,
you can run again. So
why
are you?
You got to. Trump has to calm down a bit. Stop being so aggressive with, his comments on, about the election being stolen and all that. Like, okay, we know that the election did not go the way
that we planned.
But that doesn't mean that you won it by a landslide, because it's clear and evident that did not happen.
Yep.
So stop spreading that information.
Yeah.
This is coming from a conservative.
Coming from a Trump supporter.
Conservative Trump supporter. I'm not a liberal.
Nope.
I mean, look at our other podcasts.
Yeah.
For evidence,
oh yeah.
But
we bash these people so much.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, look at my freaking hat. I mean, come on. Like, it's evidence right there.
He's obviously a Biden supporter. I mean,
you can tell. You can tell right here. You can tell.
Clearly an Antifa guy wearing a MAGA hat just to. He's in disguise, guys.
No, but seriously though, I mean, take it
guys, he's in disguise. He's a MAGA supporter.
But I just whip my shirt off and it's like a Biden, like.
But guys, he is Antifa in disguise as a MAGA supporter. Just let you know.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, so
Anyway, though, no, but seriously, coming from people who support you, man, like, you're taking it a little bit too far, I think.
yeah, and
You're inciting violence, you're spreading false claims.
and talk and
To top it off.
we'll go into a little bit more of it later, but while we're on the subject of
Yeah,
it,
give us a little bit of a hint.
so like some of the divide that there's being a
yeah.
divide within the conservative base. At least I feel like
Oh,
there's a divide within
Oh,
us.
yeah, in the conservative base, even, yeah.
Just alone, like don't even
Yeah.
look at the Democrat side.
Yeah.
Just look
Because
at
that's been going on for years, but you mean just in our circle?
within our political circle. Look at the divide that's happening here because
Yeah. You have these extremists that are breaking into the Capitol on us
that are just trying to be like, what the heck, guys? What are you doing?
they're making us look bad.
Yeah, making conservatives look bad. And it's like, okay, well,
They're banning us from Twitter anyway.
guys,
And then
we're
this happens.
yeah, we're stronger together, guys.
Yeah.
You're
You don't need to be doing this.
and you know what? Trump is kind of dividing everyone.
being a
right
butt.
now. Yeah, and I mean, I like how Trump stands up for what he believes in, but at a certain point, you have to start considering that maybe it's a little ridiculous. It's getting to the point where
Mhm.
you need to dial it back.
Calm
a
down,
bit.
yeah.
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 So, but yeah, there's definitely the Democrats are certainly not helping the situation either. They're also furthering the divide, especially when Nancy Pelosi is
Oh, don't even get me started.
she
on that.
she wants to impeach Trump with like maybe 10
But
days.
10 days left before Biden is sworn in. What are you doing?
How is that? Is that logical?
Just let him do his thing for 10 days and it'll be over.
Like
Literally.
let him finish his term out.
Stupid statements and stuff. I mean,
I don't
let
know.
him finish his rant and then he'll be done.
I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but there was a
What did you hear?
on Fox News. There was a commenter on there, commentator that was talking about about the impeachment and stuff.
Yeah.
He was saying something along the lines of that the people of the United States do not like to see impeachment.
Yes.
They want to see a president serve out their term. You know, whether that means that he's only a one-term president or
Or not.
sorry guys, that got loud.
Or not.
Yeah, it's either way, they don't want to see the impeachment go through.
It's not a pretty thing to deal with.
No, I mean,
Oh.
do you remember
The-
how much stress the last impeachment process was?
Was it Nixon that went through it last, or one? Or was it
No,
Clinton?
Trump himself. Trump was put
Oh
through
yeah,
impeachment before.
yeah, but I mean the one that actually succeeded though. The last
Yeah.
one that actually.
I mean, Trump
succeeded.
was technically impeached,
Yeah.
but not removed
Yeah.
because that's like the proper terminology for it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he was.
Yeah, because he was voted through the House to be impeached. The Senate voted, of course, no, because it was ruled by Republicans.
That whole big deal about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll have a theory about the removal of Biden in office a little bit later.
Yeah.
But let's continue on with the USA Today article. We're almost done with it. Some of Trump's tweets addressing the riot were deleted. So I don't know if Trump just deleted it himself, I'm assuming.
Well, we'll get into that later. We'll get into that whole thing later about that.
So Twitter bans the president from tweeting for 12 hours. Twitter first froze the tweets and wouldn't allow comments or retweets. Then the ban was imposed. And then at 8 p.m., Congress reconvenes to resume counting electoral college votes.
And then they come to the conclusion that Biden
obviously
was the president, obviously, and then that's what happened there. So there's
And-
a photo of that.
Yeah, there's a
Hold on.
photo of them reconvening.
And aftermath.
So there's 5 believed dead and 68 arrested.
That's all? Out of the thousands?
I feel like there were so many people that it was hard to keep track.
Oh, yeah, just like BLM and what they do, yeah.
Especially with the masks and everything.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
people wearing masks. It's like, how can you tell who they are, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the night I was watching it when I got home, it was only 1 dead.
Yeah.
So an additional 4 people died after
Due
that
to
night.
what they say are medical injuries.
Yeah, so it wasn't
Probably
like
from
direct.
the tear gas and
Yeah.
the stuff the protesters were killing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Inhalants and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's about it for that article, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about this. What do you think about all this?
I mean, we'll talk more about the overall thing. I think we pretty much talked about everything on the timeline portion of it.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one, shall we?
Yeah.
We kind of spent a lot
The
of time on
motives,
that.
yeah.
So motives behind the attack.
So this is interesting because this, I don't know if this fully explains it, but do you want to read this one?
You can go ahead. I read most of the last one.
Okay, so, oh gosh, here we go again.
Oh man.
So Donald Trump supporters leave Washington and create new theories for Capitol violence. While thousands gathered Wednesday in support of the president, overwhelming and infiltrating the chambers of Congress, only dozens of diehards returned Thursday. Which I didn't know that. That's interesting. Washington. A Trump supporter cried in the lobby of the Capitol Hill Hotel on Thursday as she poured herself a cup of coffee and told her friend that her son had disowned her for joining in Wednesday's chaos at the U.S. Capitol. But minutes later, when the driver of the car yelled at a group of haggard Trump supporters to get the F out of our city, she joined a chorus of others to respond with their own expletives. Wow. While supporters of President Donald Trump checked out of the hotels in Washington on Thursday morning, sharing feelings of sadness, anger, defensiveness, and paranoia with one another, residents of the nation's capital said they were glad to see them leave after a day of terror. And, quote, "As a brown person, I wasn't allowed to go out," end quote, said a man who lives near Capitol Hill, who asked to remain anonymous because he is a government employee. "I watched it on television. It's really unbelievable that something like that could happen. When the BLM protests were going on, we saw so much more police presence. I don't know or understand what happened yesterday."
Yeah, so speaking off of that
End
real
quote.
quick, that was bringing up a comment that I wanted to mention. I'm glad that was mentioned there because otherwise I would have forgot it. I was seeing a lot of comments online, this one included.
There's a whole section about this too. We'll talk about this later about police presence.
Yeah, but like, since we're on the subject of it,
Yeah.
police presence was...
It was lacking, to say the least. I mean, think about
Capitol.
it. Think about it. Think about the day, okay? Think about this. Put the terrorist... I'm still going to call it terrorist attack because that's what I believe this was, as I've said. To this terror attack. Throw that out the window, okay? This is the Electoral College. This is the day that someone is not sworn in, but the day that they decide.
Yeah.
Based on that alone, shouldn't there be more security?
Right.
You know?
On any normal year it would, but you got to remember
But
that...
you gotta remember this too. The Capitol visitors are allowed in usually.
Mm-hmm.
But it's COVID. That's a thing.
Yeah.
First of all,
Also, the BLM protests
that were going on over the summer.
made a lot of flack against police officers.
Which when that happened, there were fires near the Capitol. So I don't know why they're so upset about this. You know.
Right.
You can such a pictures of it, guys. I mean.
Yeah.
But yes, it's an actual terror attack. But based on the fact alone that it was Electoral College Day, shouldn't they have had more security?
Right.
You know.
You think that they would, on a normal election year, yeah, there would be more security. However,
Because people are fired up.
yeah, people are fired up, but like it's just this year has been absolute chaos. You got COVID, you had BLM protests this past year alone, and it's just been the worst year in like American history.
Yeah.
As far as
And then
at
to
least
start the
while
new
I've
year,
been alive.
you know, I saw a meme that said, I've had my 7-day trial of 2021 and I want to opt out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
but then the first
funny.
7 days of it, this crap happens.
2021 doesn't seem like it's gonna be much better than
No,
2020.
no, it doesn't.
Maybe the media will make it seem like it's much
Because
better.
Biden is gonna make everything better.
Because Grampy Biden is gonna be in office, so he's gonna make everything better.
Oh, gosh.
Ugh.
So, continuing here. Trump supporters did not have many answers either, although they provided numerous conspiracy theories. Good job, guys, painting us as freaking...
Morons.
Yeah. Jeez. Freaking hate him. You see, but this is the only article I could find. I'm so sorry, guys. As many of Trump's fiercest partisans packed their cars or ordered rides to the airport, they talked about their experiences and developed fresh ideas about potential cabals aimed at undermining them. They appeared to make many leaks about what are you laughing about?
Come on.
Shut up!
Ow.
Shut up! There's actually meaning of that. They appeared to make many leaps about how a protest in support of Trump in the early afternoon became a full-blown riot. More than a riot. Within the chambers of Congress by the time the sun set over the Potomac River. While Trump said Wednesday that he loved the rioters at the Capitol and called them very special, he condemned them Thursday and called for their prosecution in a video message posted to his recently unblocked Twitter account. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Begin quote, America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy, end quote, said Trump, who faces growing calls from lawmakers for his impeachment. This is another quote, guys, beginning the quote here. To those who engage in acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay, end quote. What do you think about that? The day before, he was telling them to march on the Capitol, and then a day later, he's like, nope, this is horrible. You guys deserve to be prosecuted.
Well, his advisors were the ones that were pushing him to do that, because he probably would not do that on his own.
Yeah.
You know, because...
His advisor told him, dude, a bunch of your radical supporters just stormed the Capitol. You should probably condemn this.
Yeah, because this is going to hinder your re-election chances in 2024.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if he's going to run or not.
Might be too
for
old.
certain, he might be too old at that point. But if he tries running again, he's probably going
This is going to be used against him.
It's going to be used against him, and it's going to be hard for him to get back in office.
Yeah.
So, like Aiden and I were talking about in the car when we were discussing the podcast, but we were talking about, like, who we'd vote for if Trump wasn't, you know, running for office.
I say Cruz.
I say Cruz as well.
If he wants.
Yeah, because I've been...
Or Ben Carson.
Ben Carson and Ted Cruz has both been very, very good Republicans. I support both of them, so either one, I mean, hey, if they both go, it's going to be a tough decision, honestly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's going to... Obviously, it's going to be interesting during a race for office, but many things can happen. But you know, so I'll decide when that time comes.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens in 4 years.
Yes. So you want to continue?
Okay. So hours before the about face, some claimed that their protest had been infiltrated by the network of loosely organized radical groups called Antifa. Although there is no evidence, while others suggested that the lack of law enforcement had created something of a reverse Trojan horse. Okay, so with that paragraph there...
That's what we just said a little bit ago.
At least...
They mentioned that.
Yeah, at least locally in the local news, local stations at least are talking about Antifa possibly being involved with infiltrating the Trump supporter.
The Simp supporters.
The Simp supporters. Like, what the heck? I can't talk, apparently. Yeah, I think I'm just getting tired. But anyways, yeah, it's there's not real evidence in that. At least I haven't found it, and it's kind of hard to prove, especially when they're all wearing MAGA hats, and you know, it's like, how do you tell if they're Antifa? Yeah. Unless it literally says a hat that says Antifa on it. I don't think
Make
they're
America
going
great again underneath Antifa.
Antifa in quotations.
Yeah, to stitch it on.
Or in parentheses.
And to stitch it on.
Yeah. But no, I don't think it's real easy to prove it.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, it's kind of just we're assuming that there might be some Antifa members in there, but it may well very be just Trump supporters that have
the radicals.
Radical Trump supporters. Maybe that's just what it is. But
the Proud Boys.
I'd like to think that it's Antifa members that have infiltrated the.
Yeah, we'd like to think that, don't we? But...
Yeah, but you know, remember we got to think logically here.
The evidence does a point to that. I'm sorry, but.
So police, quote, police officers at the very, very front were just letting them in, you know, end quote, said Isaiah Lucero, who drove to Washington from Colorado and sported a Trump beanie. Quote, it's very suspect. I think it was intentional. The officers waved them in and back down the hallway, end quote.
And I showed you a video of,
basically what it was. Basically
there was people that were near a door and they were bashing it. He didn't wave them in, but he stepped aside. And I was kind of like, I didn't notice that the first time I saw it. I was like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
And I would get into my theory what I think that is later, but
Okay.
I think there's something to that.
That was a tactic, some insisted, to undermine their movement by giving them room to create the chaos that would derail their unsupported claims of election fraud. There is no evidence of that either. Well, that's this. Keep in mind, this is MSNBC.
Yeah, well, it's just NBC, but still.
NBC, whatever. Same thing, I guess.
But still, yeah.
Of the 13 Trump supporters who spoke to NBC News on Thursday, all but Lucero said they did not enter the Capitol during the riot. Quote, "I plead the fifth," end quote, Lucero said, flashing a grin and adding that a door to enter the building had opened for him when he got to the top of the Capitol steps. So that's very suspicious. A little sus. Many Trump supporters did not want to speak on the record about their experiences at the protests and the subsequent riot Wednesday for fear of legal repercussions or because they distrust the media, which is quite obvious. Some said they intended to change their names on their social media accounts because they were scared that they would be identified by Antifa or journalists. While thousands of people gathered Wednesday in Washington in support of Trump, many later overwhelming the steps of the Capitol building and infiltrating the chambers of Congress, only dozens of diehards returned to Capitol Hill on Thursday. Yeah. While some asked where the thousands of Trump supporters had gone, others expressed dejection and distress, insisting that Vice President Mike Pence had betrayed them when he announced that he would not attempt to overturn electors from Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. By Thursday, Pence appeared to have become the target of bizarre attacks by Trump supporters that are typically reserved for Democrats and celebrities.
Wow.
Well, they're right on the money there.
Yeah.
Well, no.
They got that right, though.
Yeah, so the thing
that's
is...
something we'll talk about, too.
What they're referring to there was actually... something trending on Twitter, which we'll get to that in a minute. But, yeah, that was... That's what they're referring to. And this article is by NBC, by the way.
So you got to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt and follow us, our fans there.
Yeah, so...
It just talks about a bunch of more stuff that doesn't really need to be talked about. It just gives you a basic overview, though.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the motives that you caught from that you could have caught from that? That why they did this? Why they committed this vile act against our nation?
It's a lot of just building up, over the 4 years. I think as Ben Shapiro put it, he said it's like, a boiling pot. Eventually it's going to boil over. Mm-hmm. It's going to keep bubbling up, and then just boil over the pot.
Oh, yeah.
That's basically what this was.
Yeah.
You got to remember, dude, the last 4 years, if you look over the past 4 years, it was absolute crap. Absolute hell.
In what sense?
Of how Trump supporters were treated.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
We were put through absolute hell over the past 4 years.
We were made fun of, spat on, beaten in some senses.
And not only Trump supporters, but Trump himself. They tried to remove him from office.
He was the president. He is probably in any president in any history of any president in the world.
I mean, Trump
has received more hate, more death threats than any other president in American history.
And Trump was not wrong when he was treated as like the worst president ever.
That's true.
I mean, Trump was not wrong. I mean, explain to me how Trump was wrong there, because I mean, if you just looked over the past 4 years and understood exactly what the Democrats were trying to do to Trump, they tried to remove him from office.
Yes.
They tried to make all sorts of scandals happen, like the Russiagate. And which was an absolute failure on the Democrats' part because there was absolutely zero evidence, very little of anything that Trump did.
Yes.
So there was nothing there. So they moved on to impeachment. That failed. And
they almost got it, but it failed.
But think about all the money that these Democrats... they spend our taxpayer money.
Taxpayer money. I go to work on a grill, and where's my money going? It's
funding Nancy Pelosi and her radical impeachment motives, she just wants to she might as well just marry the man at this point.
I mean, dude, I've seen the way she eyes him.
She's like, oh snap, he's thick.
That's a thick ass boy.
Damn.
Oh man. Yeah, but seriously though, Like, where is my money going to that I'm working hard to earn for this bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously. Same for you with Giant Eagle. I mean, you're working, 8 hours a day and your money's going to freaking bullcrap.
Yeah, I want to know where my money's going. I'm sure every American wants to know where their money's going.
Yeah.
And
that's going to idiots.
Yep.
That's not right, man.
Yep. It's going towards politicians who want to fund coups against our president. You know, I'm really hoping that the Republicans take the high road here in the next 4 years, where they don't try to impeach Biden on every single term.
Okay.
I don't want them to stoop to the same level.
Yeah. Yep.
Unless obviously Biden commits
needed.
and unless it's absolutely needed.
He commits an atrocious act.
But here's the problem: the Democrats control the House and Senate.
That's one of the reasons why we got so pissed before we started rioting.
Yeah, that was also part of it. The runoff elections in Georgia, that was part of it. But also, it's going to be hard to impeach a president that is part of the Democratic Party who controls both the House and Senate.
Yeah,
so,
they have full control of everything, basically.
Yeah, Republicans are in the minority in both the House and Senate. They're going to have a little bit of trouble impeaching him when there's more Democrats than Republicans.
They're going to have an uphill battle.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle, and they're going to have to try to sway some Democrats over if they want to try to impeach him. And there's going to have to be good reason to get rid of Biden. Not just, look, he farted and fell down the steps, you know. I mean, I don't know who would fart and fall down the steps, but probably Biden. I mean, he trips and twists his ankle playing with his dog, supposedly. It wouldn't surprise me if he farted and fell down the steps. Oh.
Whoa!
He got scared of his own fart. His flies on
No, but seriously, though. I think he's going to be a puppet. Like, seriously.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at myself. That's funny.
Whoa!
I can just imagine that.
Kamala's like, Biden, you okay, sir?
Screw that. I'm president now.
What he doesn't know is I gave him beans.
That was the key ingredient.
That's a laugh. Oh, gosh.
And this is Pelosi. Now we can fulfill our radical agenda.
I love it. Spot on, dude. Spot on.
Thank you.
Oh, man. But seriously, though, like, they're gonna do some, like, crazy stuff on, like this Green Deal that's gonna be coming up soon. Trillions of dollars are gonna be wasted.
I mean, that's a whole nother thing, dude. It's like all these radical bills that can be passed now.
It's so much easier.
I'm telling you, dude. And at the beginning, when all this election was still going on, we were completely unsure of who was going to be president. They were saying that the economy loves when there's, or not the economy necessarily, but the stock market likes when they know exactly what's going to happen.
I think the word you're searching for is the investors.
Investors, and they like it when there's certainty. And if there was a lot of certainty if the Senate is controlled by the Republicans.
Oh, yeah.
Because then that means no new radical, like, tax bills can be passed.
Yep.
And all that.
But now it's completely uncertain.
Yeah, and now maybe the economy is not going to do real well.
And we're already hit with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're getting by the skin of our teeth. With, with the stimulus checks.
So.
Well, that's a whole other thing I'm pissed about, but.
Yeah, so we need to look at, come February or whenever Biden decides to start rolling out some more tax plans or something. Let's see how the economy does, or like how the stock market. I bet it's going to go downhill. You know, I'm gonna keep a close eye on it now. I mean,
yeah,
I don't normally keep a very close eye on the stock market, but
one of our friends does. So
yeah, but I know for sure I'm gonna keep track of it, and and if it's going up a lot or going down, and it'll be interesting if it goes up, because it'll be like, why,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that means that Trump's policies are staying in place for the time being, but. Most likely, Biden's going to come in and wipe everything out, and it'll be back to the Obama era.
Even worse because we got Kamala, so it's even worse.
Yep, Chameleon Harris.
I love it.
Yeah. So next article, shall we?
Yeah,
Ne-
lack
or-
of law enforcement, right?
or next topic necessarily.
Yes.
Lack of law
I mean,
enforcement.
we brought this up earlier, but
And this is by the Washington Compost.
yes.
So, you want to read this one?
Yeah. So this is why won't officials at the Capitol will prepare for this insurrection? As justice in asking yourself if TMC is still white for you. I don't know what the hell that means. As Justice and Defense Department officials planned for the turmoil that was coming Wednesday, they knew that protesters, including some violent extremists, might try to storm the U.S. Capitol as lawmakers prepared to certify the election of Joe Biden. So why would they better prepare for the catastrophic assault that took place? And that's the riddle, at the center of Wednesday's spasm of violent anarchy. Officials saw the mob coming, but weren't ready or able to stop it. And they allowed hundreds to invade the Capitol, threaten lawmakers, and for a time foment a coup against the most precious symbol of U.S. democracy. The answer is surprisingly simple, if unsatisfying. Senior officials believed, senior officials meaning people like the FBI and stuff, that the force they were assembling of 6,000 and 8,000 police and law enforcement officers drawn from the D.C. Police, the Capitol Police, the FBI, and various federal agencies would be sufficient to contain the protests. For backup, the D.C. National Guard would be available, but those troops are useful for assisting with crowd control. They're not a SWAT team. That's true. To deal with the expected march from the ellipse to the Capitol Police plan to expand the normal perimeter around the building and arrest anyone who tried to breach it. As it turned out, they were utterly unprepared for the assault that came. When asked why the Capitol Police hadn't taken more aggressive action or called it back up more quickly, one senior official responded only, "That's a good question." Sounds like they didn't know what they were doing. Defense and justice officials crafted their plans with one primary but unstated goal. They wanted to rely on law enforcement and avoid any use of active duty military. In that, at least they appear to have been successful. But in their effort to avoid giving President Trump a pretext for invoking the Insurrection Act, they allowed what looked to all the world like an insurrection. Interesting. The command posts for Wednesday's operations were the Justice Department and the Mayor's Office, not the Pentagon. Acting Defense Secretary Christopher C. Miller and General Mark A. Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, monitored the situation. But the Pentagon's representative at the Justice Department was Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy, who was responsible for overseeing the National Guard. Because remember, dude, the National Guard is a subdivision of the Army, so...
Right.
So it makes sense. The hard fight clearing the inside of the Capitol of the insurgents who had invaded was led by SWAT teams from the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, and other agencies, one official said. The Pentagon brass were insistent that the regular duty military shouldn't be used in quelling a civilian protest inside the United States, even one as violent as Wednesday's. These shattering events may turn out to have some benefits in quelling the pro-Trump insurgency that had been gaining strength. The protesters were seen for what they were, a lawless mob bent on breaking windows, trashing the Capitol, and threatening the integrity of the government. The pictures of smug would-be freedom fighters luxuriating in House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office and in the Senate chamber disgusted even hardcore Trump supporters, myself and Joan included, probably. The law enforcement approach may have looked timid and allowed the horrifying invasion of the Capitol, but the low-key response avoided any Tiananmen Square scenes of armed military or paramilitary forces attacking civilians. The mob must have been hoping for such a propaganda moment. At this wedding, they don't have it. Instead, they have public revulsion. Although the insurgents managed to delay the final certification of Joe Biden's Electoral College victory, they did so at a cost of shattering their movement to challenge the election result. Even the most craven Trump supporters, like Senator Ted Cruz, seemed embarrassed that their challenge to Biden had produced this alarming spectacle. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, was speaking for GOP self-preservation when he rejected the attempt to derail Biden's election Wednesday afternoon, shortly before the invasion began. How fitting that he will soon become minority leader. That is true. As triumphs in the Georgia Senate runoffs give the Democrats control of the Senate, the public repudiation of Trump's reckless, seditious actions has been growing month by month, and McConnell knows it.
Well, and the other thing is that Mitch McConnell, him and Cruz have been the most opposed of Biden's victory.
Yeah.
Through this whole thing.
Yeah.
And yet, it shows in their reaction to this whole entire attack on the Capitol that, what really matters is our country and the Constitution.
Yes.
We must uphold the Constitution.
By any means necessary.
Yeah, and no matter how much we dislike Biden,
it's a process.
It's a process that we must follow, and there was not the evidence. There was no clear evidence
that fraud.
That like at least large scale, that produced enough fraud to overturn the election, and they upheld the Constitution, which is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have gone off the rails like Trump did, which is like I don't understand why he did.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have gone off the. Either one of them shouldn't have gone off the rails, which they didn't. So thankfully, yeah.
One lesson from this debacle is that right-wing militia groups pose a serious threat to the country's stability. They surely harm their cause with most Americans, but they probably boosted their image among the millions of self-styled patriots who share the conspiracy theories and dreams of a new 1776 revolution. The mob at the Capitol is part of a global movement of white extremists. It recruits and it operates through social media. It's armed and dangerous. It seeks the overthrow of our constitutional government.
So what's a 1776 revolution again? Why were
like
they trying to
war? Basically, they're trying to overthrow the government and
like start a new one?
Start a new United States, basically, yeah. Because they think our government's corrupt, which is what I was telling you. Which I believe that. I believe that. This article is making it seem like we're crazies, but I think that's a fair statement, though.
I mean,
there needs to be a revolution on some levels. Maybe not violent yet, but I mean, on some levels there definitely needs to be. Our government's becoming too.
Yeah, there definitely needs to
be some revolt.
Yeah, and that's why we
online revolt. No, not violent. Not yet, at least.
I don't feel like it's time yet to
become
get violent and do all that, but I do think, however, that's why like Trump was elected in the first place, was because he was on the outside. He's an outsider. He's a
politician that's not a politician.
Yeah, he's not a lifelong politician. This is his first go at being, political.
President.
And
he did a dang good job.
Yeah, he did a dang good job, and he was an outsider. And it shows that these lifelong politicians, all they do, they're in it for the money, and they trick people, basically.
They're liars. They're professional liars.
Professional liars, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So is that all for that article? Pretty much? Yeah. So that's interesting. That brings up a whole nother aspect, the 1776 revolution.
Do you think that is a thing, though? There are these right-wing groups that, do we have to acknowledge that, Jared, as conservatives? As people on the right, do we have to acknowledge that there are such groups that exist?
They're not conservatives. They're radical right-wingers. That's hard to say.
Yeah. So what's the difference in your eyes, then? Because I would kind of make a podcast about this, too, maybe, in the future somehow. Difference between white and radical white and left left. What's your opinion on that?
Well,
what's the difference in your mind?
In my opinion, the radical, like, say, okay, the middle. All right, let's start out with the middle. The middle has, you kind of sway either way.
Yeah.
You consider both sides of the argument. You vote based off of what information's being fed to you. You kind of, each election's different. That's where like the independents are at.
Yeah.
And then you got like the conservative side, which is where we're at. We're not in the middle. We're not on the far right, but we're in the middle of those two.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the conservatives are at. Then you got, farthest to the left of us, or right, depending how you look at the map, or what map you're looking at, doesn't matter.
Graph.
But to next to us, farther away, you got the right wingers.
The far right wingers, yeah.
Far right, and
these are the neo-Nazis, the KKK members,
these are people that, once you're over on that side, there's less reasoning.
Yeah.
They don't reason with the other side. They kind of just, they go with what they believe in, and that's it.
Fully.
Yeah, they go fully in. You can't reason with these people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got, of course, let's look at the other side of the aisle. You
Far
got
left.
You got the liberals, which they're almost like the conservatives. I'm obviously different ideals and all that, but they're not.
Well, there's libertarian and there's liberals. You should say that too.
Yeah. What's your definition of a libertarian compared to?
I don't know. I'll switch it up really quick because I don't have a good definition for it. Because I've wondered whether I am that actually before. Let me look this up really quick. I'm sorry, guys.
Which you're not, but.
Well, hold on. Political philosophy upholding individual freedom. Libertarianism is a political philosophy and movement that upholds liberty as a core principle. Libertarians seek to maximize autonomy and political freedom, emphasizing free association, freedom of choice, individualism, and voluntary association. Does that sound, well, against us? I mean, you know what I mean?
No, not
because I've
really.
heard some Trump supporters say that they're libertarian. I mean,
yeah, you see, that's where it gets confusing.
Yeah.
We may have to do like a video of us taking a
test,
political compass test.
You mentioned that before, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it before just to see kind of where we fall on the spectrum of
based on
the
data,
political, yeah. Because I don't know, I've never taken it, and supposedly other people like Ben Shapiro and Crowder, they both took it, I believe.
Yeah. Joe Rogan took it. He's libertarian.
Yeah, so I'd like to take it just out of curiosity, just to see where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I think I have a good idea where I'm at.
Conservative.
Yeah, I'm conservative, I feel, but
yeah,
I don't know.
So I might be like bordering conservative and libertarian then maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
black law enforcement. Let's talk about this for a second, because that's supposed to be the topic. I'm gonna let you do this one first. What is your thoughts? And then I have a theory.
Again, like what we mentioned in one of the previous articles we were talking about, law enforcement. I've heard some people saying, well, see how the hypocrisies, like how they're treating these pro-Trump rallies, how they're not the police. There's like no presence there, but that at the BLM protests there was a lot of police officers.
Police almost like militarized kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was like crazy.
Yeah.
But then again, when you look at it and you think about it for a second, you think, well, a lot of police officers were told to back down.
Yeah.
They were told because it all started with the BLM protests.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it started out with mayors.
The George Floyd riots.
Yeah.
As they're also known.
Yeah. The mayors told their police to stand down. Basically.
I mean, Portland is a great example.
Mm-hmm.
Trump offered to send in troops to help, but they were like, "Nope, we got this.
Nope, we can handle it." And it's like, you sure?
Yeah.
Kind of doesn't seem like it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that there were all, it contradicts itself, because BLM protests were actually the opposite. They were, at least the ones I saw, were ones where they were told to stand down and,
let them riot, basically.
Let them riot, let them loot buildings, burn businesses
burn stuff
down.
Actually burn stuff.
Yeah.
Down, yeah.
I mean, how is that not terrorism there? That's
terrorism right there.
That's not talked about enough.
Yeah.
The terrorism that
the Capitol,
BLM
sure,
caused.
Capitol got some windows broken and stuff, and they reached the Senate, but whole buildings got burned down, though.
Yeah, it's like we're glad the Senate, or I mean the Capitol, is not burnt down.
If that would have been BLM, can you imagine?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they would have just let them run all over the place.
But I do have a theory, though, and my theory is, I think, and me and Nathan will talk about this earlier, one of our friends.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit, because you saw the videos. You saw some of these videos over the past 2 days of these Capitol protests and stuff. I think there was a little bit of white privilege in there, though. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, you saw the videos, dude. I mean, they stepped aside. They let them bust these doors down. They let them reach the Senate chamber. I mean, that should be one of the most heavily guarded places in the whole building.
Should be. However, I think that the reason why it wasn't so heavily guarded, and people are saying that, well, it's because they're white and they're letting them run all over the place.
That
and
was
they're
my
Trump
point.
supporters.
Yeah.
But what it is that the most likely chance is that it's because these there's been a lot of flack against police officers. They did a lot of these congressmen and women
over the summer. Yeah.
Over the summer, a lot of these congressmen and women were told to not support the police, and
they found that. Yeah, so they were following what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, and they did not want to have extra security.
And look where it got you.
Yeah, they opted out of the extra security because they were offered it.
They were following what the BLM protesters said, and look where it got you guys.
Yep. I mean, just see what you got.
Yeah.
And if you would have had more security, it may have avoided that whole entire situation altogether.
Yep.
So, yeah,
And plus, guys, that's two totally different situations too.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it was about the election. That was about racism. How did those two even begin to?
Yeah, they also make everything a race issue too.
Yeah.
Literally everything. The media.
That's why it was about
everything.
That's why it was about the election, and yet they're saying it's about white privilege. This is why they were. They said they were white. They were Trump supporters. That's why they were let in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more complicated than that.
Yep.
We were pissed because of you guys. That's why we got so mad. Because of you guys. I'm pointing to the Democrats right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because of you guys and your bullcrap defund the police tactics. We listened to you and look where it got us.
Listen, we back the blue.
Yeah.
At least in my house, we do.
Yep, same.
So
fully. Back the police.
I can't imagine a world without police officers.
Mm-mm.
Let me just say, because I would not want to live in it.
Mm-mm.
And there's some countries that don't have enough law enforcement, including our own.
Yeah.
I mean, certain cities.
Dude, that video I saw that I showed you about the officer that was being pinned against the wall by the freaking mob, that was kind of...
It was gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad for the guy.
Mm-hmm. He looked young, too. Like, he was like a Wookiee. He looked like he just got into the force, too. Probably first day on the job having to deal with this shit. Like...
I would hope that's not his first day on the job, but I guess you never know.
Yeah.
So the next big...
this is going to be flaring.
So the next big news of that day and the next day bleeding into it was that Trump was banned from social media.
And I think Joe wants to talk about this one because I didn't really do
this one. So Trump was suspended from Twitter initially for all this, as we kind of explained in a previous article. But Trump was eventually banned for good from Twitter.
Yeah.
Which I can't believe that, Twitter would do that. But Twitter sees it as in their eyes that, Trump was inciting violence.
Yes.
And, none of his comments were helping the cause. Which, in some cases, I do believe that there was some unnecessary comments from Trump that,
absolutely,
that could have possibly caused some violence. Now you kind of go into question, do you think that if Trump never said anything about the march, do you think it would have happened?
Maybe. I mean, possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
So...
But I still think people were pissed, though. I mean, they would have done something.
Yeah, so...
So this goes more over than just Twitter. I found an interesting article I found for him, and for me, too. Rather than just Twitter, I went over all the platforms. I tried to cover all the bases.
And this is an article from Axios.
Do you know them? I've never heard of them.
I've heard of it.
I've never heard of them.
So, Reddit, out of all sources, that was a place that was, or a social media platform that was banning Trump.
The first one, yeah. It's the first one that says...
So it's a subreddit of r/Donald Trump, which is basically like a group on Reddit, which is basically what it is. So Reddit's... They commented on it. They said, quote, Reddit's site-wide policies prohibit content that promotes hate or encourages, glorifies, incites, or calls for violence against groups of people or individuals. In accordance with this, we have been proactively reaching out to moderators to remind them of our policies and to offer support or resources as needed.
Jeez.
End quote. A spokesperson tells Axios. So... Yeah, so anyways, that was interesting.
That was Reddit.
Yeah, that was Reddit, which I was not expecting that. Honestly, I thought it was only Twitter.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them doing this. There's a bunch of them doing this.
And then it gets even weirder. It says Twitch.
Which is a gaming streaming platform. We use it.
Yeah, we use it for our gaming channel.
Yeah. It's our channel, guys.
Both YouTube and Twitch. Follow us on both platforms. We will be doing a gaming video soon.
Yes. Oh.
We have a plan for that.
Not a video game, but it's gonna be fun.
A card game, actually.
We can't wait for it. Oh man.
So that will be so interesting to do.
Cards Against Humanity. Oh yeah. So Joe, what is this? What do these people say? Twitch, yeah.
So, Twitch disabled Trump's channel,
I
citing.
didn't even know he had one.
Does he?
Hold on a second. That's a Trump on the headset.
Screw you. I missed that, but you were obviously in the wrong. You're obviously an idiot.
Oh gosh, Jordan, I get shot.
Oh darn it, I got shot again. This game was stolen from me.
This match was stolen.
This match was stolen. I am the king of Fortnite. I'm better than all of you. I'm probably the best. Probably the best Fortnite player ever. Probably the best.
Team Deathmatch sucks.
I didn't know Trump had a channel on Twitch.
I'm gonna have to look at that. Oh wait, I can't. Oh no!
Oh, I missed out.
Oh, I know, me too. That would have been funny to watch. Had he actually been playing games on that? A 74-year-old man playing games. Dude, he's supposed to be guiding our country. What are you doing? Oh, I'm playing Fortnite. Have Pence do this for me.
I will meet with the people after I'm done with my game.
It's like a parent coming in with me, like. That's awesome.
President Trump, you have a meeting with Kim Jong-un. I'm playing a game right now. I'll be
Fortnite.
Put him on hold.
But so he's waiting. It can wait 10 minutes.
You can wait 10 minutes on hold. I've waited 20 when I was talking to customer service.
And then the freaking president.
And the freaking president. I mean, they're probably a Democrat.
Screw you, Epic Games.
So,
oh man,
here's the comment on it. Quote, in light of yesterday's shocking attack on the Capitol, we have disabled President Trump's Twitch channel. That just doesn't sound like it goes together.
Oh gosh.
Given the current extraordinary circumstances and the president's incendiary rhetoric, we believe this is a necessary step to protect our community and prevent Twitch from being used to incite further violence.
Oh my god! Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna since I have Twitch. Hold on a second. I wanna see. Is this actually a thing? Hold on a second. Oh wait a second. Oh wait. I cannot believe he has a Twitch channel.
That doesn't sound like that.
He's not gaming, but like Electronics. Oh my god. Still, oh my gosh. I was half expecting to see him in a freaking gaming headset.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh man.
Him like getting in fights with like the 10-year-old kids.
Like in an end game with Thor.
Kid, I will crush you. As you know, I am the king of Fortnite.
Oh my god.
So, I thought it said Spotify.
Spotify too. The first time I read that.
He's got his own
rap album. He's got his own rap album.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, President Trump, I'm gonna stomp you in the ass.
What is Shopify?
It's a shopping site. Oh.
Took down 2 online stores affiliated with Trump, his organization, and his campaign's merchandise sites for violating its policies.
This is a funny article. I didn't even realize this.
So obviously Twitter, that's the one that I knew about. So Twitter announced Friday the platform will permanently ban President Trump's account effective immediately.
Let's talk a little bit more about this one. This is the big one.
So Twitter, as
is a little round cesspool.
Same with Facebook. I mean, Facebook is just
which is why we have a big announcement at the end of this podcast. We mentioned it in the other one, but
right,
we'll mention it again.
We got to work on it still.
Yeah, but do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So,
what do you think about this, dude? This is the big one that everyone's talking about. Him being permanently banned from Twitter.
Yeah. Being permanently banned from Twitter is kind of a.
It's kind of gay.
It's kind of gay. No, but it's actually
Seriously, though.
it's kind of a stretch.
Permanent 12 hours I can understand, but permanently.
Yeah, because like, can you imagine just like being permanently banned? I mean, I guess it's kind of a big deal. You know what happened at the Capitol? Obviously,
That's
you know
one
that
of the biggest deals in American history.
Yeah, it affected the whole country.
And it's going to affect them for years.
Right.
It's going to bring up questions about, like, how secure are we really? You know, should we... Stuff like that, but I don't think it's necessary.
Maybe that's understandable that Twitter would do that, but then you got to remember what side of the aisle Twitter likes better.
They're liberals.
They're liberals, and it's...
I mean, the dude looks like a freaking nerd. The person that wants Twitter.
No, he looks like a hobo. I mean, did you ever see his beard? I mean, it's so scraggly, and it goes like all the way down, like his neck.
The person I saw was nerd glasses. That's who I saw. Maybe it was when they first started, but
no, the guy now, he when they were in like a.
He was like one of the Silicon Valley nerds that I saw.
Yeah, but now he like looks like a scraggly
hobo.
I'll put it up for the screen for
and
you
then
guys.
Mark Zuckerberg is at a freaking strip club all the time because he doesn't know what he's doing because he's so young.
Yeah.
He doesn't want his own damn site.
Right. So.
We're talking about the guy on Facebook. Obviously.
Yeah, I'll have a picture of the CEO of Twitter for you guys so you can see it, but so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I always forget his name. But yeah, he let me look up his name real quick.
What if it's also Mark? That'd be hilarious.
What'd you say?
What if it's also Mark? That'd be hilarious.
Jack Dorsey. Okay, I gotta remember that. He took over in 2015.
Doesn't he look like kind of a nerd though?
Yeah, but you want to see the updated photo of him?
Let me see this guy.
Hobo Central, man. I mean, that doesn't look like the guy before.
Yeah.
That looks like a hobo that you pulled off the street, and you're like, "Do you want some money for some food?"
He was like Phil Robertson from like Dynasty.
Yeah. Grandpa. Grandpa, you're not in war right now. Grandpa, it's okay. Where am I? You're in your lounge chair, Grandpa. It's okay.
When is it a good time to remember that Vietnam flashback?
Don't do that, dude. Stop.
Oh my gosh, I'm cracking. Oh no.
You're scary.
God.
So, yeah.
Why is that so funny?
Anyways, back to what we were talking about.
The comment, what did they say?
So, quote, after close review of recent tweets from @RealDonaldTrump account and the content or context around it, we have permanently suspended the account due to the risk of further incitement of violence, end quote, Twitter said in a statement.
Yeah.
See, this comment is interesting because I'm sure that Twitter was waiting for the right opportunity to get rid of him off Twitter.
They've been doing it for 4 years now. I mean,
yeah, they wanted to find the perfect excuse.
Mr. Jack Dorsey, sir, you are sly. What you're doing here.
This was planned. I don't feel like he just like on the spot. Okay,
dude, Zuckerberg, they're all buddy. They all get along. They all jack off to each other. I'm sorry, but that's the only way I can put it right now. I'm sorry, that's a little bit vulgar, but seriously.
Yeah.
They're all friends. They know they all have each other's backs.
Oh yeah, while I'm at it, let me find a quote from Michelle Obama.
Oh man. Pulling out all the skeletons in the closet, huh?
Michelle Obama on censoring Trump. I think that was what she was discussing.
Read this
all right, so this is according to Fox News, which is, I prefer that. So Michelle Obama calls on tech giants to permanently ban Trump, which, guess what they did?
They did it.
We bow to you, Michelle Obama. You took away our school lunches that were with brownies and desserts. We must eat healthy food. Oh, ban Trump. Oh, yeah.
That's what this is, though. I mean, seriously.
So, according to the article, according to the article
called what again?
So, according
We
to
jumped
the
out a
article,
window.
former First Lady Michelle Obama condemned what she said was President Trump's role. What? Ew. Okay. So, let me read here. Role in kindling dangerous and violent protests in D.C. on Wednesday, calling on the country's major technology companies to permanently ban the president from their respective platforms. Obama characterized the pro-Trump protesters as a gang, in quote, who, quote, laid siege to the United States Capitol,
they did
end quote.
that.
Which, yeah. Adding the social media giants needed to take action to prevent this type of, quote, monstrous behavior, end quote. Now is the time, or quote, now is the time for Silicon Valley companies
Which
to
I
stop
love that place, but I mean,
to stop enabling this monstrous behavior and go even further than they already have by permanently banning this man from their platforms and putting in place policies to prevent their technology from being used by the nation's leaders to fuel insurrection, end quote, Obama wrote in a statement. So Michelle Obama, I'll put it up on the screen for you guys, but like all of you, I've been feeling so many emotions since yesterday. I tried to put my thoughts down here, and
then it just says
a lot of reading. Trump's Twitter and Facebook accounts, where he regularly communicates messages to his followers, were locked on Wednesday after the president posted a video message in which he called blah, blah, blah. But anyways, the whole gist of it is that
Obama, Michelle was trying to get these big tech companies to ban Trump permanently, and then look what happened.
Look, basically, they listen to Michelle Obama, out of all people. Like, you know that they're on that side of the aisle.
Yep.
They're with the Democrats. They are basically a propaganda wing for the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple sources have been saying that they are a propaganda wing for the left. I mean, this isn't any new stuff. I mean, this has been going on.
We are under attack, Jared. Our side is under attack.
Right, and we have to fight against it, guys. And I know you guys as followers, thank you, our loyal fans. Our 28 subscribers that
soon to be 30,
follow us. I hope, hopefully, if you guys are watching this and have not subscribed, please do, because we're trying to grow our channel as much as we can.
Fight them together.
Yeah, and we must all join forces and fight against the radical left. We need to stop the craziness that is going on right now, because this has gotten to the point where we can't express our views.
Jared was talking about this in the car. Jared, do your rant, please. This was amazing what he said here. This is basically... We can't be civil about anything anymore. We can't.
It's getting to the point where we can't be civil about it anymore. You know, and it's just it's going to come to a point where we're going to have to take action.
Maybe violently if necessary.
You know, I mean, maybe like what these radical right-wingers are saying about a 1776 revolution being imminent.
Yeah.
You know, it may be an actual thing eventually. But like I said...
It'll be violent when that time comes, though.
When that time comes. Like I said with Aiden earlier.
Because I was in support of them at first.
Off mic, I was talking to Aiden about it, and I was saying that, you know, we're going to need more evidence that there's things that's going on. Yes, this is probably part of the buildup that caused some of the violence at the Capitol, you know, with being like... you know, muted in media outlets and stuff because of our views. Control of everything and all it's just a boiling over point, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, for us to stage violence against
a government building.
Yeah, you know,
a building that is the beacon of democracy and law.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna
not only to the U.S. but to the world.
But yeah, we're gonna need more evidence that, you know, before I can agree to it. Yep. Before I can be with them on it.
He put me back in my place. He explained that to me, and I was like, you know
what? Well, I don't want Aiden going off the rails. You know, I know
becoming one of these terrorists, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're frustrated just like the rest of us.
I want to fight, but I mean, not now. Now's not the time.
Yeah, you
fight in different ways.
You know, let's take the high road here. You know. You know, just said let's in Obama's words. You know, they go low, we go high, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically
we'll put it back on you guys. I mean,
we'll put it right back on you guys. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what the majority of conservatives are doing.
Going low right now. We're fighting through online. We're basically anonymous, I guess. the goof.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and that goes into, you know, we're gonna try to we're gonna try to get away from Twitter and Facebook.
Which this is a double-edged sword, though, in my view.
Right.
Why is this a double-edged sword, Jared? Explain why it is.
Well, because there's more users on Twitter.
And Facebook, yes.
And Facebook. However, the majority of those users tend to be more liberal.
Or at least the
more
algorithm
radical.
is. Or at least the algorithm.
The algorithm itself, at least, that prevents our viewers, our target audience.
Yes, our followers. Loyal followers, guys. Thank you. Hold on. Thank you. By the way.
Thank you.
By
Peace
the way.
out. Rock out. You
Yeah.
know, all that.
Seriously, though, yes. And because of that, we're switching to where?
We're going to be switching over to
We're trying
Parlor.
to. Yes.
Anyways, we still got to create the account ourselves. We're going to work on it here in the coming days, but
Weeks, months, maybe.
hopefully
Who knows
sooner
how
than
long.
that. But yeah, we're planning on exporting a lot of our content over there.
We will still keep posting to
Facebook
Instagram,
and Twitter,
and
but
YouTube as well, but
right. But yeah, we're gonna try expanding out to more conservative media outlets
the reason
because of the suppression of our views.
yes.
I feel like we're not able to get our content out there. I know that we don't have the biggest following,
yeah.
obviously, but I feel like that still plays a role in, you know, Twitter and Facebook still play a role in how it's preventing us from getting those followers.
Like you have to pay money to boost your post. Like what kind of bullcrap
Yeah, but
is
like
that?
you're paying for that, but how do you know that it's actually being
Well,
boosted?
yeah.
Especially if they review your content, you're like, oh, well, you're conservative. So
I do it to only 20 people. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like,
Does that work?
Yeah, does it work? Probably not.
Do you know of any other ways why we're doing this though? I mean, are there any other reasons?
Well, because, you know, it's kind of like in protest to Twitter and Facebook's
And we'll probably do
suppression.
a podcast about big tech soon because this
Yeah,
is something I feel that needs to be talked about in a lot of
that's
detail.
that's coming down the pike, guys, because, you know, I know that
I think that's it for that article. I think.
right, that's it for the Axios
Yeah.
article.
Then they would just bring it up Google and stuff too, and they're all the same. So
Right.
anyway, though,
But yes, we are kind of doing a balancing act as from Off the Grid.
yeah,
We have two channels that we're working with, so we're doing a gaming channel as well as a podcast channel, so it can be kind of difficult to manage both.
the gaming channel is probably going to remain on the normal side because we don't really do any political content.
Right.
You know, it's just fun.
No, I
Us
mean,
goofing off.
like splitting our time is what I'm saying.
Ew, okay.
Yeah, you know, splitting our time is a difficult thing, you know, so podcasts come when they can.
Yeah.
You know, we'd like to concentrate some more time towards our gaming channel because
Yes.
we haven't posted anything in a while. The last thing we posted was a introduction video for our channel, which it's funny if you guys want to look at it, but the life of a gamer.
Yeah, yep. It's our trailer.
Our trailer for our channel. So like
It's freaking hilarious.
if you guys are already subscribed, I don't think you'll see it pop up right away. But if you have
new
to,
user.
if you're a new user, it'll automatically pop up, and hopefully you'll subscribe if you see it.
Yeah.
Because if you enjoyed that video, you will enjoy the rest.
Yes, yes.
And also follow our Twitch channel too.
Yes, please.
Because we live stream on there when we can.
Man, a
which
little bit of advertisement now, Joe. Jeez. Oh, guys, we're excited.
what's that?
Something's coming.
What's that?
Merchandise.
Yes, merchandise. We're working on that. That's another thing. The mugs. Yes, we're very excited for that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Instead of this Shrek cup. That,
So
you guys can see it.
And it's a third movie too, which sucks.
this is actually a McDonald's, like one of those cups that they give out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they don't give out this type of content anymore. But
No.
yeah, but
Seriously, we're working on some cool green
yeah, and then I got
mugs for you.
a slightly better one, Mickey Mouse.
Slightly, a lot better.
Yeah, but no.
Seriously, we are
though.
working on mugs. though. We're working on.
Yeah, off the grid mug would be nice. And oh, you got your move gold on. I'm not sure how you did that, but
I wasn't doing anything, guys. Like,
you're swinging your arms around is what you're doing. You're flailing your arms like Nancy Pelosi. Trump is obviously very bad.
Okay. Anyway, though. Oh, jeez.
Let's get back into this. We're getting off track.
That's what she said. Let's get back into this.
All right. So jumping off of the Twitter banning and social media.
Oh.
So ew.
Ew.
Anyways, Mike Pence has been attacked as well.
But not by social media.
Right. This is by supposedly Trump supporters, right?
Yeah. Joe,
so
what is this?
once the article comes up, so it says "Hang Mike Pence" is the name of the article, which is a very vulgar statement from
very
Trump
vulgar,
supporters.
very violent.
So Twitter saw a surprising item trending on Friday night when, quote, "Hang Mike Pence," end quote, hit around 14,000 tweets, according to reports.
Jeez.
The social media platform announced Friday night that it was permanently suspending President Trump's Twitter account.
Which he said.
The decision was made, quote, due to the risk of further incitement of violence, end quote, as we said, according to a statement on the company's blog. So, Twitter suspended, obviously, Donald Trump's account permanently. Many users were confused then to see such a violent item in the trending section.
Yes.
So, as we were mentioning, it says conservatives flee to Parler following Twitter's permanent suspension of Trump.
Including us.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. Yes, we're following though. So, Paula, I'm sorry your sub was probably going to be over one.
Yeah.
So, because...
But, hey, good news for you guys. You guys are getting more people on your platform, so that really helps you guys in the long run. Mm-hmm. So this quote from, or a tweet from Yashar Ali. Ali.
WTF.
Why is this allowed to trend? And then it says "Hang Mike Pence" trending. So Twitter appeared to notice the trend at some point. On the Twitter Trending USA site, which tracks the past 12 hours of the top 10 trending, the item does not appear. Quote, "We blocked the phrase and other variations of it from trending," end quote, a Twitter spokesperson told Fox News on Saturday. Quote, we want trends to promote healthy discussions on Twitter, end quote.
Such bullshit.
Whatever. Pence to oppose the 20th Amendment.
We'll talk about that later.
25th Amendment is another topic we're gonna discuss.
The last one, actually.
Yeah, last one we'll end with.
Yeah.
But quote, "This means that at times we may prevent certain content from trending. As per our help center, there are rules for trends. If we identify accounts that violate these rules, we'll take enforcement action," end quote. So here's the problem I have with that, and there's multiple problems with that.
So that's basically what it...
That's the article in a nutshell. But anyways, the whole issue with that, in my opinion, and I'm sure many people feel this way, especially conservatives.
Oh yeah.
Why in the world would you allow that to trend on Twitter when your policies, supposedly your policies, don't want to incite violence?
Yeah.
How is that allowed to pass your algorithm?
In the first place.
Unless you are biased and you hate conservatives.
Yeah.
And you want to suppress them, and you want them to... You're okay with violence against conservatives because, it's, accepted within your liberal land.
Yeah, within your ideology. Yeah.
Within your ideology.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's your thought on it, Aiden? I mean, that whole thing, isn't it kind of...
Basically the same thing you said. I mean...
Hypocrisy right there?
It's very hypocritical.
Hypocritical, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the Hang Mike Pence thing, they were actually, not only on social media, but there was some I saw. The protesters erected a noose outside of the Capitol grounds, and they said Hang Mike Pence, and they were actually going to plan to take him and a bunch of other people hostage and hang them. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. Because Joe saw a video with me, and they were basically shouting it outside the Capitol.
Yeah, that's some scary...
How does that happen in the course of only 4 years? How do you go from... Let me ask you that, Joe. How do you go from loving a vice president to absolutely hating them and wanting to hang them? How does that happen?
Well, they thought Mike Pence would be used as a... like the right-hand man to Trump, which technically he is. But... he's also upholding the Constitution.
Like we said earlier.
They were hoping that Mike Pence would not hold up the Constitution and that he would side with Trump and like overturn the election. But that would
Which is weird considering that conservatives are all about upholding the Constitution.
right. And
But just this once, they wanted him to
completely ignore the Constitution. That see if he did that, that would be unconstitutional. So that was not right for them to assume that.
So Pence, good on you.
Yeah, good on you. I support what Pence did. I don't enjoy them trying to push over the Constitution completely away.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we deserve to uphold it.
Yep.
I
thought the country was founded on. We've had 240 years with it.
Yeah. I mean, we complain about the Democrats wanting to throw out the Constitution, so why are you guys now doing it?
Yep. We're gonna hold our own. I'm
gonna
put our money where our mouth is. So
yeah, I'm not going to be biased in my opinion on that. I'm going to. The law is the law.
Yep.
And if
no matter who's behind it,
no matter if you're Democrat or Republican, you still have to uphold the Constitution.
Yep.
So I'm going to be hard on both Democrats and Republicans here. Any Republican that thinks that we can just overturn the election.
That's the difference between us and Democrats, though. We are the only party that recognizes our flaws and points them out.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that.
And not everyone in the Republican Party does that.
Yeah.
Not everyone on I don't feel like everyone on YouTube does that.
And then there was some people on the Democrats that do.
I don't know.
So there's a lot of.
Does Steven Crowder point out his own hypocrisies?
I haven't seen.
I think he's more radical. He's very right wing. I mean,
I just stopped watching him for a while now.
Yeah,
and I've been getting my information mostly from news videos, and then just put.
Ben Shapiro's been pretty level-headed through all this.
I've been switching to him mostly now.
Yeah. I mean, he's outright conservative. He says he's conservative, but he also looks at
Crowder's funny. Crowder's good if you want to laugh,
but and he does get good points across, but he does not consider the other side real well.
From what we've seen.
At least from what we've seen, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see every one of his podcasts.
Prove us wrong, buddy, if you're listening. Prove us wrong here.
Prove us wrong. You can point us out. Call us out on it, but
yeah. That'd be an honor, actually.
That'd be an honor if you actually call us out on it. But yeah, I'd like to hear your opinion on it, Crowder, and let us know what you think. But if you're actually watching this, but yeah, so the Pence threat thing, that's
that's a thing that exists.
That's a thing that exists. Yeah. So.
And it was kind of Trump's fault too, because he threw him under the bus.
Yeah, and then it made his supporters turn against him, which I'm surprised that.
Can you imagine if Pence runs for president and he wins? Like the guy that Trump threw under the bus ends up.
I'd probably vote for Pence.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there'd be a lot of opposition though because he's tied to Trump.
Yeah.
And also, I just thought about this now. Maybe also not only that he wanted to uphold the Constitution, but he also wanted to avoid ruining his political career. You know what I mean? You know what I mean by that? Because Trump was going off the rails when he was saying that the election was stolen.
Yeah.
And
for weeks he was talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, and over a month now. And he was saying that Pence can overturn the election. Well, if Pence
putting pressure on Pence.
Putting pressure on Pence. Now, if PP. Pressure Pence. If But yeah, if Pence actually went along with this and sided with Trump, and people would hate Pence for it because it's like, why'd you do that?
There's no winning. There's no winning.
Yeah, and it's not like they're. Yeah, Pence would ruin any other office if he tried to run for the United States presidency. It would be hard for him. It's 5:21
p.m. in Mogador.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways.
Why is it on my world clock? What the heck?
That's weird. In the world of Mogador. Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, so the last topic we want to discuss tonight is something.
This is what we're probably gonna get the most fired up about.
And this is the next 4 years. This is
What
critical,
we're talking
guys.
about, yes.
Guys,
We're gonna
listen
spend
up.
another hour probably talking about this.
Guys,
At
listen.
least 30 minutes.
If you didn't listen to any of the hour and 55 minutes of this podcast,
Listen to this
then listen to this.
last half hour, however long this goes for.
Which probably not longer than 10 or 15 minutes. We're going to discuss this. I hope. I don't want to go over that.
But we're probably gonna get fired up about this though.
So
because this is
important. So if you
very important.
If you didn't listen to anything else, listen to this. Okay, the 25th Amendment. You may have heard it recently over the past week.
I haven't heard about what this is. Can you explain what this is first?
So, essentially,
why is this in the Constitution?
Let's see. Does it say in this article exactly a definition of it?
Let's just open it up and see.
We
don't have to read the full article. Let's just...
No, I just want a definition here.
Yeah. We're just going to talk about this one, guys. We're going to talk about this one.
I'm just trying to find a good...
Section 4 of the amendment, which gives the Vice President and Cabinet members the ability to remove presidential powers from the President, has never been used.
Yeah, and that... The thing is, that is used when they feel like the president can no longer serve for whatever reason.
It's basically like an Order 66 for, in real life.
Yeah. I mean, this type of thing, the 25th Amendment, should have been used in the past because there's been previous presidents that have been, like, oh, God, what president that was, like, disabled?
Clinton, too.
Disabled. Remember?
Joe Biden?
Well, he's disabled mentally, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, he is disabled, so that's probably... but that's actually a hint at what we're discussing here.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no, this is...
This
should have been used... what president was disabled? You know, wheelchair... God, I forget which president. World War II?
Oh, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Yeah, wasn't he...
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair, yeah.
Yeah, well, he was... I believe it was him that was struggling to really...
Or Truman.
It was either him or Truman. But either one of them, I forget which one exactly.
They were disabled, and yeah.
Yeah, it was difficult for that president to go along with his daily presidential
duties, responsibilities.
And, you know, that the 25th Amendment probably would have been used if it existed at the time.
But, this amendment is more difficult to do than impeachment, though.
Is it, though? Can you explain?
This article says because any House member can introduce articles of impeachment, but only the Vice President and the Cabinet can invoke this amendment.
Which, actually, this seems easier in the next administration rather than the current one. And
that's what we're going to get into now.
And what I'm explaining by this is Mike Pence has always been on Trump's side. But he's also
4 years.
This whole 4 years. He does not want to go against Trump. Especially because that would also hinder his re-election chances or his own political career. But Mike Pence, yeah, he does not want to do that. There's no reason. Trump is mentally there. Yeah, he's made some weird comments and all that jazz. But
he's just a dummy.
He just makes dumb comments sometimes. Yeah. But
oh, excuse me.
Yeah, but seriously, the next administration, though, that's where the 25th Amendment might be used. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because think about this, guys, and I've probably mentioned it to you guys before, but my prediction for the next 4 years is that Biden is probably not going to make it through 1 year in office.
Do it. Explain your whole timeline of how this is going to go.
I mean, okay, so the first year in office, Biden is probably... I mean, Biden's maybe will make it through 1 year if he's lucky. But then I feel like...
Why would you explain that, though?
Because his health, his mental ability, you know, I don't know if he's mentally there, you know, completely.
And so the stress of running a country then, kind of?
Yeah, the stress of running a country. I mean, it's not like, you know, lay back and watch the country go, man. No, it's like you got to go out there and you have to be involved, just like Trump was.
Don't stay in your basement.
You can't stay hiding in your basement like you were during the whole entire election process. Okay, you know, you have to be out there and talking to the American people, which I'm sure he will talk to the American people, but Will he be out there and doing it, or is he going to stay inside the White House all the time?
Yep.
Those are the questions that I have. You know, is he going to be doing the same things that Trump is, or is he going to be a lazy butt?
Yep.
Just because
We'll
he can't
see.
handle it.
We'll see.
We'll see, but honestly, I don't think he's going to make it through 1 year because of his mental and physical health, and he's either going to die after 1 year, which I hate to say that about anyone.
Yeah.
But
no matter who, though.
No matter who they are.
Yeah.
But, you know,
horrible.
I feel like he's probably not going to make it through 1 year.
Then who's going to, this is what it's leading. Who's going to take over?
And, of course, by Constitution, Kamala Harris will be the next president.
And this is who we're scared about.
Biden.
Not really Biden, but her.
Yeah, and I feel like the coup is going to be staged within their own Democratic Party. Not the Republicans starting the coup.
Nope.
Not like how it was under the Trump administration where the Democrats were trying to get rid of Trump. No, it's going to be the Democrats are going to implode on themselves.
How?
How they're going to do that? There's going to be people that support Biden, but then they're going to split the supporters for Biden and the supporters for Kamala. They don't want Joe Biden, the side that wants Kamala. They
only wanted him to go because they knew that he was going to
They're hoping he's going to croak, and Kamala Harris is just going to be the president, and then, you know, she can bring out her radical agenda that she wants.
And then explain this. What are those radical agendas going to be?
Like the Green New Deal and, you know, higher taxes and reparations for blacks and, you know, that were supposedly, you know, slaves, their ancestors were slaves. And, you know, stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
and why is that bad?
And it's bad because we don't want to pay more money in taxes and all that stuff. So, you know, that's why primary reason we like Trump so much. Lower taxes.
Yep.
I mean, there's been direct, you know, aid that's helped a lot of Americans out. You know, so I feel like Kamala is going to do the exact opposite of that. And,
we both feel that, yeah.
So say if Biden he doesn't die within the first year, but, you know, they really want him out.
He's still going to be used as a puppet, no doubt.
No doubt. He
doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't. And he's going to be pushed around because he's not real.
He's very persuaded. He's easily persuaded.
Right, yeah. He changes his opinion all the time. I mean, he doesn't stick to it. He doesn't have morals. Nor does Kamala. Kamala doesn't have morals either because she joined a guy that she called racist.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole other story. Yeah, that she doesn't have any morals either. So they're just the party of no morals. But yeah, I think Kamala Harris will try to remove him with the 25th Amendment if he does not die in office.
Push him down the stairs.
No, I don't think that's going to be a logical thing. That's kind of I was just joking
that was a
around,
joke that we will mention that we did.
Yeah, but I don't think.
But seriously though, yeah, she's gonna try to slowly work him out of office.
Yeah, and they're gonna either try to remove him with the 25th Amendment or he's gonna die. I'd rather
he can't be impeached because that would have caused, you know, a little bit of questions.
Well, actually, they could impeach him if they wanted to, because they're all Democrats, and if all the Democrats were
how would they do it though? What would they accuse him of? That's the thing, you know what I mean?
They can make anything up. I don't know.
He's mentally ill, not fit for...
Yeah, or he made a stupid comment, and then boom.
Yeah.
Because guess what?
Yeah, what
and here's the thing is...
I just thought about this now, yeah.
What about the Republicans? How do you think they're going to vote, though? Say if an impeachment was going through for
They're going to
Biden.
say yes.
Are you sure? Because Kamala Harris is behind him.
Yeah.
They might actually vote to say no to impeachment.
Oh my gosh! Because we know who's more crazy.
Yeah, we know who's more crazy here, so we're gonna keep Biden in and Kamala out. But of course, that's not gonna work because guess what?
The House and the Senate are run by idiots.
They're also controlled by the Democrats, which
are idiots.
AKA idiots. So yeah.
Over there in liberal land.
Yeah, back in liberal land.
Oh,
meanwhile, in liberal land. It's like Batman or something. To the Batmobile.
To the liberal mobile. Wait, to the liberal machine. Like the Mystery Machine, but
it runs on taxpayer dollars.
Like the Prophet, but a jetpack joyride.
This thing gets horrible miles per gallon. Oh my god. Okay, so anyway.
Elon Musk built it. It's electrically powered. Beep beep.
Spent with how much money on solar panels that help
We do not-
to fuel this thing? Windmills
Windmill
that kill
powered.
birds. There's bird killers.
Well, we signed that green deal, but it didn't work. We're killing birds.
At least it's keeping the earth cool. Because it's heating up, man.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Do you agree with
man.
what I was saying
Absolutely. Dude. Let's talk about this though. What's gonna happen after though? What's she gonna like? Let's really get into this for a second. What is she gonna do though? You know, like how is she actually gonna? What's gonna change about our country as a whole? How are you and me gonna be affected by all this?
Well, we're
Personally.
gonna be kind of pushed aside, and we're gonna be basically in the passenger seat or the back seat, pretty much. You know, we have no control over the vehicle we're in. You know, whoever's driving it, which will be Kamala Harris, should be like, "Hey guys, where do you want to go? McDonald's? Oh, okay, too bad, I'm not going there." You know, you have no say.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically how it is. You know, I know that was a weird comparison there, but yeah, that's basically what it is. You know, we're not going to get a say in anything, and the only way, guys, probably one of the only ways to do it, we got to vote these people out in 4 years.
You
Us together.
Yeah.
You know, as American people. You know, and you know, come around 4 years from now, and they're up for re-election. We're gonna have to make the decision.
We have to fight.
We have to fight to keep them out of office for another. We can't have them in office for another 4 years. I mean, you know.
Imagine COVID's already making things bad with Trump in office.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine like what a Democrat would do to?
Do you guys
The office of the
remember?
president?
Do you guys remember 08?
Yeah.
At all?
Do you remember the crash? I do.
Mm-hmm.
It affected all of us. You know.
And then Obama takes credit for
The
Trump
economy
did.
doing well, but you know. But anyways, beside the point. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting year for us, and we'll
That's
keep
the next 4 years.
next 4 years. We're gonna try to
Oh,
you know keep up with everything as much as we can. But thanks guys for listening. I think that's pretty much everything for tonight's episode
Yeah, episode 40.
or today's episode.
Episode 45.
Depending 46. This
46,
is episode
oh.
4. That concludes episode 46.
So.
Which is ironically Biden's presidential number.
I just realized that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Say goodbye to episode 45. Like the Titanic.
Hold on.
A captain must go down with the ship.
Oh, so guys, look, that's pretty cool. On the back of it. You know, like the
We're
flag
just
and
slowly
stuff.
sinking.
Oh man.
Except I'm not gonna
Hold on,
I'm not gonna die on a
hold
floating log.
Whoa, oh gosh. Jack,
Screw you, man. I'm Jack. No. Screw you, man. I'm getting to a lifeboat.
Screw you, Jack.
I'm getting to that boat.
Oh,
I'm out.
man.
I'm living in America.
It wasn't America, you idiot.
No, they were trying to get to America, remember? The Titanic? Right?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
do I have this all
They're
wrong?
on the freaking Arctic.
Do I have, what is wrong? I'm like, am I thinking this right?
They weren't in America.
They are in America. There's just an iceberg and the harbor there. We're all sinking. The Statue of Liberty's right there. We're just sinking right by. You know? They're just sinking out in the harbor. Everyone has their popcorn just watching it sink.
Supposed to have, well, there goes the Titanic.
That could have been prevented. We could have saved all those people on board.
Ouch!
You know, we're just gonna sit here and watch it from a distance.
This is...
Oh my god.
The president had to tweet about it. Oh,
What a glorious sight.
What a glorious thing.
What a sad day in American history.
Ouch.
No, overall though, that was a sad day in American history. But
It wasn't American though, depending on what you're saying. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta look at this. Hold on. We might be tripping here.
Let's not look it up, dude. We gotta end this podcast.
Yeah,
all right,
it was
so
British.
we'll see,
It was British.
All right, well,
wait, Paula,
anyway.
though. Wait.
Huh?
Paula, did we want to mention that again just so that they know, or no?
No, it's okay. It's just a radical right-wing site, right?
Which we're gonna be joined? No, it's the theme of joining, dude. That's the theme of switching over to. We're going over the Paula, remember? To get our view. It's that site that would.
No, parlor, but not. Oh, I thought you said Paula.
No.
I'm like, what's Paula? We're moving our site over to Paula. I forgot that's just how you say
Paula.
That's just how you like pronounce it there.
Paula. Not. You idiots.
Paula. I literally thought that's what you're just talking about in the car.
We're switching over to
Parlor. Okay, all right.
You idiot.
It's like, Raggy, you want a room snack? Rob, where?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm sweating.
Okay, guys.
Well, I think that concludes this episode.
Okay, guys. See you guys.
Subscribe, please.
Yes, and follow and share this video.
All right, see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.